We are discussing DPS 1201, supplies management. Right now, let's discuss briefly about lesson 2, which is entitled Components of Supply Management. Components of Supply Management. I just briefly want to explain the concept of components of supply management. By now, you know what is supply management. Supply management is the process of making sure that the supply chain management officers are able to acquire products or goods or works or services at a competitive market price, and at the same time being able to utilize the various resources that are allocated to them effectively. So when you talk of management is more of a skill such as controlling, coordinating, organizing, staffing. So the management part of it means that whatever you procure, whatever goods, works or services that you have on site, make sure that you're getting the value for money out of them. Otherwise, if you buy too much stock and doesn't offer protection for these stocks, then it means these stocks will be lost and you're actually going to lose. Any stock lost means that you have lost the money. So when you talk of components of supply, components means the word component refers to constituent. So when you talk of components, it's like we're asking ourselves what constitutes supply chain. And you see, supply chain is the movement of product from one place to another, or movement of product from the point of production, from the producers to distributors to sellers to retailers, until this product gets to the final consumers or the end customer. So this is what we call the supply chain management route, or the supply chain. This is how businesses operate. Okay, so when we talk of components of supply chain, is like we are asking ourselves what constitutes a supply chain, what various players are in the supply chain, or what must be there for a business to be effective. Okay, so what things must be necessary in business for them to continue operating. These are like the key ingredients that are necessary in supply chain for any production of materials of goods to take place, for any movement to take place, for any distribution to take place, and etc. So what really constitutes? Remember, this is like a web. Okay, so there are so many things, or there are so many constituents, or there are so many components that must come together to have a system that is working, that works in business. Okay, so one, for example, we need some bit of investment or capital investment that have to be made, and this capital investment may even be money to purchase raw materials, money to purchase equipment, money to acquire lands, money to acquire other assets that will make it necessary for a business to operate. Next, we need another component of supply chain is distribution. There must be a system of distributing product. This can be either be done by sellers, they can be done by retailers, they can be done by other distribution mechanisms, like the way we can have trucks moving goods, or the way we can have air transport, or the way we can have vans transport. But the basis of it is to move large quantities from one place to another before we actually start breaking the bulk. Another component is inventory control. Any business has to manage its stock, and inventory control deals with, for example, a business asking itself, how much stock am I buying? How much stock should I keep? Am I offering protection to my stock and everything? So inventory control is important, because if you buy so much stock and it doesn't sell them, the company actually ends up having so much of capital tied up in stock. Okay, so we also have to protect, to make sure that the stocks that we have are not getting lost, so no privileges. Okay, another constituent of component of supply chain is what you call logistics. Logistics is that aspect of planning, implementing, or making sure that the goods, the raw materials, the finished goods are able to move from one point to another, either from the producer towards the end of the end consumer, who is the consumer, or for consumption purposes. So logistics necessarily doesn't mean that you are transporting. Logistics means that we are organizing, we are able to organize the aspect of movement, because we can move different products in different or in various ways. So logistics management is making sure like whatever you are moving it safely. Whatever you're moving it smoothly. No breakages, no damages, and etc. Another component of supplies management is what we call manufacturing. These are the processing plant. These are the manufacturing companies. These are the companies that convert raw materials into finished product or semi-finished goods, and maybe they do this one in large quantities. Another constituent of supply chain, supplies management is what we call materials management. Materials management is this aspect of planning, acquiring materials, managing the distribution. Whatever the materials, the goods or the product that a company may need, we need to know where are we sourcing them. For example, how do we control the price? How do we provide security? How do we move? Okay, so materials management can cover many things, from when we are sourcing the materials, how we are moving them, how we are controlling them. Everything in supply chain is about materials management. Okay, so it also involves the distribution of products, materials from one place to another, and also at the same time keeping and ensuring that the safety of these materials. Another constituent of supply chain management is what we call packaging. Packaging is different from packing, but packaging is actually packaging is meant is actually meant for promotional purposes. Okay, so the container that we store the product, we call it packing. But how we do the packing is now what we call the packaging. So packaging involves like labeling the container in a very attractive way, putting photos on that packing material in an attractive way, lighting things like expiry dates, good images. It's legible. Somebody can see the content that we are moving inside. This is what we call packaging. Okay, so packaging serves two functions. One of protecting, because regardless of if you are promoting the product or not, the material inside must be safe. Okay, but packaging plays a double role of that of packing, ensuring the protection. Number two, for promotional advertising purposes. Okay, so another component is what we call procurement and purchasing. So we need organizations to first of all do what we call specifications development. This is coming up with an actual or a genuine need of what is required. We need a purchasing company to do what we call value analysis. Value analysis is a scenario whereby a purchasing company asks itself, is it really necessary for us to go ahead and purchase these items, or we can get alternatives to such? Purchasing company can also do what we call supplier market research. This is an aspect whereby a few personnel can go outside and ask, compare various prices, compare various quantities, compare various qualities, okay, so before they make purchasing decisions. Okay, so another constituent or component of supply chain is the aspect of quality. Okay, so we need to make sure that whatever we are buying or whatever we are purchasing is something that is excellent. Okay, because you cannot negotiate with customers with a product that is not quality. So we need an excellent service, we need an excellent product, we need an excellent product that you can call it, this is a quality product, a quality, so the customer, the aspect of quality, we have to get quality at the right from the right source at the right time, even at the right time. I mean, we cannot negotiate about quality in supply chain. So plus others component in supply chain. Just read a bit on lesson 2, and if you listen to what you are discussing about on components of supply chain, you are likely able to understand. So when we talk about